Okay, so now we're going to do the tarot reading portion. I'm going to be using the Tricker Tarot, the Oracle of Oddities, and the Halloween Tarot for the reading. And I may or may not pull from other decks, but we'll see. I feel like these are the ones that want to come out for you. So let's pull on, oops. I want to pull on your energy. I really want to focus on that. That red aura that we saw. So your energy right now. All right. So we have Jack-o'-lantern, protection. We have the Ace of Cups. I love it. And we also have breathe. I love it. So your energy right now, with the Jack-o'-lantern, the protection, definitely a need for doing that. Being more aware of the way you feel, tapping into your energy in terms of how do I feel physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Really tapping into all of those areas of the self. I feel like the protection it's kind of like a gentle warning sign for you to be aware of who's around you, to protect your heart, to protect your well-being. Okay. I like that the Ace of Cups came up for you. That to me is showing the overflow of emotions. I feel like it's also letting things go, forgiving and forgetting, just like what your spirit was saying. She was saying that you need to let go of grudges, let go of stuff from the past. You've learned your lessons. Now it's time to move on from it. So I feel like the Ace of Cups it's a card of beginnings. It's a card of emotional beginnings. So I feel like, that kind of resonates with what your spirit was saying. Is just that there's a lot of things that you need to let go, letting go of grudges, things that you've been holding on to for so long. That's not always easy. We build habits, we become comfortable with living and being and thinking a certain way, and when we have to finally like rip that away from us, it's just to separate ourselves from that, it can be difficult. And then I also pulled breathe with the beautiful lungs, and then we have these gorgeous red flowers growing from them. So there's your red energy. And definitely I feel like the breathe is just kind of saying like you need to allow yourself to let it go and relax a little bit. Definitely feel tense energy with you. I definitely feel like that red aura that you have at this time is just a lot of clenched, urgent energy. Maybe you want to see things, kind of start to change, and it's like you want to see fast results and you don't want to be patient for it. And that's not always the case. Things don't always work out that way is basically what I'm saying. So definitely, now that I see how your energy is portraying with the cards, it's nice to it's nice to see that. So now we can kind of move forward with this reading just a little bit more. So I want to ask the cards, like, where are you going? What do you need to know right now? Let's just go open freely. Like, what do you need to know? Where are you headed? That's just the direction that I'm going to take the reading, because I feel like maybe that's what's necessary right now. Like I said, it's harder when I don't have much of a question to go off of, because I want to make sure I give you what you're looking for, but it's hard to know what you're looking for when I don't have a question. So I'm going to do my best. See what Spirit has to say. So let's just let the cards talk. Interesting. Scrying. I love it. Okay. So the cards are they're showing underworld, where all things pause and begin again. I love it. That's death. Okay. Underworld is it's like the afterlife. Okay. We have regret with ghost. Okay. And what was coming through in your message earlier? You know, your spirit was saying, ask questions now so that there's no regrets later. And maybe you have that. Maybe you have a fear of death. Maybe you have a fear of losing certain people that are really, really important to you. And it's kind of like spirit on the other side is really warning you right now. Like, ask your questions now while they're still alive, while they're still around. Talk to them, spend time with them, because once they're gone, you could still connect with them on the other side, but it's not the same as when it's flesh, okay? The scrying card came up with intuition, which is telling me it's guiding you, one, to trust your intuition, but also when there's a way to connect with spirit. And I feel like that's her saying, like, you know, you can connect with me in different ways. So scrying is just another form of divination. Same thing with pulling cards or using a Ouija board or meditating and connecting with spirit or automatic writing. Like, there's so many different ways that you can connect with spirit in that way. And so I feel like that card's coming up. Also, it's the intuition card, which to me is just kind of, it's telling you to trust that part of yourself more. Maybe you don't, maybe you second guess your intuition and you don't give yourself that ability to trust, to trust what's coming through. We want to get you away from the ego and more of the intuition. Okay. So making your day-to-day decisions based off of what your intuition, what your body, what your energy wants versus what your brain is telling you. Because your brain, you're just overthinking and it's not as genuine. I hope that makes sense. We have beauty, we have awareness. I love it. So I feel like Spirit's also telling you to be aware of the beauty in life, to observe the details in life, observe the things that we forget, to look at, There's so much going on around you, and when you constantly have your face in your phone, you forget to see what's going on around you and the beauty of Mother Nature, that kind of stuff. So I feel like your spirit is saying that too. And to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the beauty in life. Gluttony is coming up too. So is there issues there with food and eating, health matters? Maybe there's things that you need to work on. Ooh, your third eye. So they're showing you the gluttony. So this could be a diet change, the need for a diet change, feeling unhappy with your intake, your food, your eating, that kind of thing. They're also showing the third eye chakra, which goes hand in hand with that scrying card, which is saying building up and strengthening your intuition a bit more. Dreams came up. She definitely speaks to you in dreams, like I stated earlier in the channeled portion. So I feel like she's saying that to you is be more aware, open your third eye to the dream state, trusting your dreams, trusting your messages and how you connect in that way. She threw the sacral chakra. It came up upside down. Normally I don't read reversals, but I really feel like this was a definite from her. I feel like she's kind of saying your sacral chakra is a little bit out of tune. So the sacral is the energy point that is just below your belly button. It is, it's the chakra of creation, passion, sex, your sex life, your hormones, all of that. So something's not quite right. Maybe you're like a lack of passion for life, or a lack of, that kind of thing, or lack of creativity, creative ideas, lack of interest. That this might be something that you need to put a little bit more time in to kind of cleanse it, recharge that chakra. You could also work with the sacral chakra by adding in more orange. A lot of people like to do that with color. So the sacral chakra has to do with the orange. So you could wear orange. Carnelian is a really good stone for the sacral chakra. What other stones are good for this? I would just say carnelian is just really, really good for that. Citrine might be good too, but definitely carnelian. Or eating foods that are associated with the color orange. So carrots. What else is orange? Pumpkin. Oranges, tangerines, you know what I mean? Like you could add that kind of flavor of food, or even like dealing with the sexual, okay? Dealing with your cycle, your menstrual cycle. How is that? You know, how has that been lately? How have your hormones been? How have your moods been? All of that kind of stuff is tied into it. Let's see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, okay, so she just showed love. Love came up. So definitely she's showing you that she cares. I don't know if this is part of the reading, but let's see. We have death, voice, and we have embrace. I love it. So I feel like it's just kind of like she's saying, even though she's gone, she's on the other side, that you know, she's still there. You could still talk to her. And then embrace is maybe she's giving you a hug. I like to kind of like, that's a different way of reading. is kind of trusting what spirit is throwing at you based on the cards. So I love it. Okay, let's pull some more from the tarot. So let's talk about that red aura. What can we look at with the red aura? That urgency. Actually, Spirit just reminded me of the other thing I wanted to read of, which was the male. Let's do that instead. I feel like they're throwing me. I think they're leading me to read on that. I just forgot all about it until they just literally put that in my head. Okay, let's do that instead. So remember I was saying in your reading, I feel like there was a male of betrayal, that kind of thing. Let's look into that. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this male. Scrying. Trick or treat, mischief and play. So was this a mischief person? Is that what you're trying to say, Spirit? A mischief person, manipulative. Perhaps it's manipulative. I feel like your spirit likes this deck. So I seem to get a lot of jumpers with it. Okay, so I feel like what she's trying to say with the mischief and play is that this male could have been a very manipulative person, or he had a mask. Not like, well, if he did fit like, oh my God, what am I trying to say? I feel like I can't talk. Did he stutter? If he legit had a mask, that would be really creepy. But I feel like figuratively speaking, he would play face. He had a good poker face, or he would put on a face for the sake of whatever, and deep down though on the inside, like, he was a crappy person. So that's like kind of the energy that I'm seeing with this. Now, please keep in mind, if this is not somebody that you resonate with in this present life, a lot of your past life stuff was coming up too. So this could also go hand in hand with that. So we have connection. She threw out connection with this male. So there was some sort of connection that you had with this person, obviously. But it could have been, maybe it was like from a family tree, because this is kind of making me think of family tree. So this could be somebody that you were related to. We have lust and we have support. Interesting. Lust and support. Almost like she doesn't want to give me anything else. Honestly, like, I feel like with the lust and support, it was kind of like there's two things I'm getting from this, either like a sex addiction problem, but I also am kind of seeing the lust and support was like, if he was a father figure in your life, was there a lack of support from him? Was it more of a lust connection that he had with your mother? And maybe the lack of support, like he wasn't quite a father figure. That's kind of how I'm seeing that. The other thing I could say is also, because this video is not going to be public for everybody to see, the other thing I could say is, was this a negative, like a really bad person? Did he have a lust for you? Was this a father figure that had a lust for you? Or was this a male, like someone you dated that had a lust for you, and you know, you thought maybe that they had that support? I love how there's a lot of red in the cards, because like I said, your aura being red. I don't feel her as much around right now. The Eight of Wands, moving on into the future. I feel like she's kind of showing a lack of cards right now, because I feel like what she's saying is like, what's done is done. This was what it was. That's all it is. It's time to move on from it. Because that Eight of Wands is all about fast forward motion. It's a green light card for me to go on into the future. So I feel like it's kind of her way of saying like, we don't need to dwell on this topic so much. It's just like whatever it was, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. No, she doesn't want to come through anymore. Okay. I have to respect that. I have to respect that, because sometimes spirit just doesn't, they just don't connect anymore. Like they come and go. Or it could also be a lot for them. It's a lot of energy for them to come through. So lastly, my love, I just want to leave you with a nice positive message, an uplifting message. Let's see what comes through for you. Going on into the future, when you allow yourself to move on. Harmony. Freaking love it. Also, it's surrounded by butterflies, which butterflies is all about change. It's spirit too, but butterflies is all about transformation, like the metamorphosis, right? The change that a butterfly goes through as a caterpillar. Oh, witch, I love it. Witch is the earthly weaver of the worlds. You are in charge of your future. You are in charge of you now. You have the ability to change the direction that your life takes. Just because things were crappy at one point in life, just because you had a past that maybe you were not so happy about, it doesn't have to, it's not set in stone, that kind of thing. And the witch card is so magical, because it's like, it shows the magical being that you are, and your ability to create your, literally your future, your happy ending. So let's get a tarot card. Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is a card of patience. It's a card of planning. It's also a card of earth energy, the material. It's to me, it's like having patience moving forward. There will be material abundance in your life, the finances, that kind of thing. But you got to be patient in the direction that you are headed towards. You have the ability to create an abundant life for yourself in this future, in this present life, and then live a life of harmony. So I feel like that's kind of what Spirit is saying with that too, is that all is not lost. That you are going to have a beautiful, happy ending, and everything is going to be okay. So I love it. I think that Spirit did come through strongly. I'm hoping that what came through resonated, and that you were able to get a lot out of this, my love. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, or if you would like to give me some feedback, please send me an email. And until then, I wish you a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, loves.